Boa noite, pessoal, bem-vindos a mais um PT Futebol Live. Estamos de volta, o meu caro colega Meet e o nosso convidado de hoje, o Alex Borgmann. Vamos só começar em português e depois entramos e começamos a falar em inglês. Meet, queres só explicar assim rapidinho como é que funciona o programa?
Exatamente. Ora, boas a todos, pessoal. Bem-vindos a mais um episódio. E como nós costumamos fazer no início de cada episódio, explicar mais ou menos como é que é a nossa dinâmica. Hoje nós temos o Alex como convidado e quem quiser fazer perguntas, juntar-se à conversa, falar de algum tema que tenha para me perguntar a mim, ao Leach ou ao Alex, podem se juntar ao grupo do Discord. É só fazerem ponto de exclamação Discord no chat do YouTube. E aparece o grupo do Discord. E se vocês ainda não se tiverem juntado à nossa comunidade, é sempre bom para vocês se juntarem, fazerem perguntas e depois fiquem por lá, porque é sempre bom as conversas que acabam por surgir sobre o futebol americano. Acho que quase todos os dias agora nós temos discutido alguma coisa, seja sobre o que é que aconteceu na Liga, seja o que é que acontece na NFL. Então, para quem gosta de futebol americano, é sempre uma boa comunidade de fazer parte. E também relembro já, quem nos quiser ajudar tem aí o Buy Me a Coffee e podem nos comprar um café e assim vão ajudar o programa e ajudar-nos a nós assim também a continuar
a expandir.
com aqui. Exatamente.
É isso. So we start now in English. We already have Henrique Riffel from Brazil saying greetings folks. So Alex, welcome to our podcast. Did you heard about it before? Just out of curiosity.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually heard about it.
Oh,
Seen a couple of interviews you had with
the Portuguese ones for sure.
Yeah, of course.
Só uma parte.
Eu sei.
With Owal. I've seen the one with Owal. And,
Okay.
And with Patrick Donahue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So at least I've seen a bit, and I've listened to some of your Portuguese stuff, but
Yeah, it's hard.
my Portuguese is not that good.
Yeah.
Yet. Like I told you when I was with you in Braga. Yet.
Yeah.
So Dart is also saying hello. Is normally on this kind of shows, and Enrique said, "I don't argue about NFL. I only argue about the American Football League, Portuguese Football League." He's a huge fan of Portuguese and Brazil's league and Uruguay, the small leagues. Is a really help to our league, like a really big help. So, how are you been doing? So, do you want to tell a bit of your story and how do you came to Portugal and where? So people that don't know.
Well, okay. I think it's easier to start with what is actually going on right now.
Okay.
So I've been in Portugal for 2 months, practicing with the Lisbon Lions, and then we had our first game 1 week ago, right? 1.5, and I managed to play 5 snaps and then got hurt pretty bad.
Oh my god! I heard that it was only 2 snaps, but no, I'm happy it was 5. Okay, I'm happy that it was at least 5. Not too bad, yeah. Yeah, by the way, I don't know if you recognize people that are watching. They are both with the Cardinals t-shirts. It looks like it was on purpose. But it wasn't. No, he didn't.
Alex one wasn't.
Yes, yes. Okay. Oh, by the way, I also recognize. I also have mine. So not my team, but my jersey. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
One thing. Wait. The sound, I think it's still too low on the stream. Either mine and Alex. There was people complaining that the sound was too low.
All right. Yes, because you talk too loud.
Vão dizendo aí nos comentários o que é que vocês estão a achar do som, como é que está, como é que não está, e assim nós também vamos ajustando.
So Luís Pérez said good afternoon. Vasco Souza disse nice shirt, and Marcos Ramos is Alex with a black heart.
Yeah.
People miss you.
This one was the one that showed your number, right?
No, this was Wagner, but actually Marcus prepared a shirt too.
Okay.
He's got it in Lisbon.
Yeah.
and
Told me after that.
it would be
But
this at the same time. It would be amazing and sad because he scored a touchdown,
right.
but it would be called back, so he would do a big party, like show the shirt for you, and then have the touchdown take off. But it would be the best of both worlds. He would be happy, and I will be happy after.
Tiago Fidalgo also said, "Love you, Alex." I don't know how to say the rest of the name. Said also Alex with a white heart. But Alex, just a quick question because I don't want to argue a lot about it. Did you see the Lions game, the last one against Meat?
I haven't watched it completely. I haven't seen the whole tape yet. I've seen quite some progress, at least.
Okay.
It's great. But I haven't watched the full tape. But I guess someone over here is happy with the outcome of the
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about it later. But one thing I want to do also is because we know you came to Portugal to play football, but tell us a bit more about yourself, how you started, and
Your experience.
how was your
Yeah.
journey in football?
Okay. I started with teenage age, like 15, I think it was, yeah. And started with a small town team. We played in the last league of our country, like our state. In Germany, it's like every state has their own leagues. So
Mhm.
we played in the last league of our state. First year, didn't win any games. Second year, won one game. It was big. I played quarterback during my whole youth career. Played for like the state team. So every state has its own all-star team. Played a tournament there. Then with 19, I moved to South Germany, where I came to the Ravensburg Razorbacks.
Okay.
There, that time they played Division 3 in Germany. So we, my first year here, I played quarterback and receiver. We moved up in the league to GFL 2, and then it was an up and down couple of years. We moved down one year to GFL 3 again, moved up to GFL 2, and then we become more stable, I would say. And then I changed position because I was more known for like as a blocking receiver.
Okay.
And our defense coordinator came to me and asked me, "Would you like to play safety?" And I was like, "Well, sure, why not? That brings another like dimension
View.
on my
Yeah.
exactly." And so I played safety in 2017.
Mhm.
And then the year after, when I finished my studies and all that, so I was free from work, free from school and all that. So I decided to take half a year off and go to Finland. I played with the Kuopio Steelers in the Maple League.
Yeah.
Back then, now they're a powerhouse, but back then it was their first year in the Maple League. They just got promoted to the first league, and we straight made it to the Maple Bowl. This is the final of the Finnish league, and we got our ass kicked in the finals by the Helsinki Roosters, but it was a hell of a ride. It was really fun.
Okay.
So then, yeah.
And which position did you play in the map?
Safety too?
Safety too?
Safety and receiver. I switched during the season all the
Okay.
time, up and back, wherever they needed me.
Yeah.
I
know
think
that
I
feeling.
already had. They wanted to do me quarterback too, but it was never that urgent that our QB was so hurt. So
Yeah.
there was no sense for me to go there. Yeah, the year after. But what was not that nice in this year, because I went to Finland and got the second place in Finland, which was still nice. But my home team over here, the Razorbacks, won the GFL2. And I was like,
Oh.
I played here so long and built up a lot and put so much effort in the team, and then I'm leaving and they win it. But they,
You were the problem.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. I was thinking the same.
Lions, prepare for a championship run.
Yes.
but the thing is, they didn't get promoted because they have to play like a relegation game,
Okay.
and they lost it against the Stuttgart Scorpions. And the next year, I was back, and we made back-to-back championship, and
Okay.
then won the relegation against Kirchdorf Wildcats.
Okay.
It was awesome. So I said, okay, if I'm back, we need to win this because every one of my friends has this ring, you know.
Yes.
And I was, damn, I want a ring too for the GFL2, and then I was like, okay, so we need to do this. And then, yeah, but in this year, so when I'm here, I'm just playing safety. That's my main position over here. I'm
Okay.
also the defense captain of the team and all that stuff. So safety is my thing in Germany, actually.
Okay, but I want to know, did you got the win or not then?
Yeah, he won back to back and then won the relegation game.
Oh, you
want to
won
see-
the relegation?
Yes, we want
please.
to see.
I didn't got it that he won the relegation.
It's against the Wildcats.
Yeah, I understand. I understood that he got the game.
So I got the ring
Nah.
and all that. I can maybe
With the
see it.
Razorback.
Yeah. It
And
was
that
nice.
was just for winning the second division. Here,
Yes.
you win the first division and you get a €10 cup.
That you bought it yourself.
And you,
No,
and you
it's-
probably need to buy it yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's amazing.
And then
Yeah.
And did you manage to play in the GFL 1 then?
Yes. So then 2020, we were practicing to play in the GFL1, but it got cancelled because of COVID.
oh,
Yeah.
that is,
And then last year, 2021, we were playing, and I was still safety, defense captain, team captain. It was nice. My first year in GFL as a team captain and everything. We
wow.
made history for the Razorbacks. It was the first year in GFL. We came a long way, and I was really proud of the first game we had against Schwäbisch Hall.
Well, always hard to start when you play against them.
Yeah, we got our ass kicked there, but it's like you play with a small town team against a powerhouse. So,
Yeah. But
it was,
sorry,
it's good to learn, like-
how can you be demoted? You told how can you be promoted, but how are you demoted from GFL 1 to GFL 2, for example?
The same way.
yeah. If you're the
Oh,
last team,
Oh, that's the game that you
Yeah,
play.
the champion against the last one.
Ah, okay, makes
Exactly.
sense. Makes sense.
That's the
makes sense.
relegation game that I was talking about.
Okay, I got it. Okay,
Yeah.
that is, I didn't thought about that. Okay, makes sense.
so yeah,
That
the
is cool.
first game was the first game ever for the Razorbacks in GFL. I came the long way from GFL 3 all the way to GFL 1. Made everything with the club, and then it was the first game. It was actually the season opener in live television in Germany.
Yes, it's
That
kind
was
of
so
big.
nice.
What a
Yes.
big deal! What a big deal! And I can imagine how satisfying it must be to be with a club like you said in the second division and
Third division.
and even the examples that you gave prior. You were with in a team that didn't win any game, and then here you are playing the GFL 1 on live TV. Okay, that it is against the unicorns, but still, I can imagine like how good it must be even losing. Like it's so much better to lose against the ultimate champion of German than to lose against a no-name team
Yeah,
like
of course,
back in second or last division.
Well, still it's
I mean-
GFL 1. It's really it's. I think they are all good. It's like there's
Yeah.
powerhouses, but they are all super good anyway.
Yeah. The bad thing is if you're playing live TV, I dropped a pig, a pretty easy one, and like my whole phone was full with messages. how can you drop that pig? You're, you know.
Oh my god, so much drama.
I can imagine how much did playing quarterback help you then play safety, because sometimes people say that safety or middle linebacker are the quarterbacks of the defense. And how was that transition? Because you said you said you played most of your youth in quarterback, but how was your transition, and how much did that influence you in switching positions?
A lot, really a lot. It helped me, like, because I just realized formations really quick. I see, okay, this is this is this, and I can adapt really quick to this. And in our defense, I was giving the calls, so I was the quarterback of the defense, like you said.
Yeah.
Right? So it helped me a lot. But reverse-wise, this year, I mean, I didn't get the chance to prove it a lot, but playing safety helped me a lot. Reverse to play quarterback, because I just see the coverage and I'll be like, okay, this cover 3, man, cover 2, yeah, you name it, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I can
Relate.
think about it, because
Okay.
well, just when I switched from playing safety to then playing wide receiver, I felt a little bit of that influence, because I knew the way that the safety was hanging, or the way that the cornerbacks were playing. It helped me a lot to then to switch to the offensive side, to know, okay, this is what I feel uncomfortable doing, and so
Right.
it's always good to have that knowledge, and especially from being from quarterback to safety. I think this is like it's not a complete opposite, but still it's something that you go from one edge to the other,
right.
but still helps you a lot.
It does. And also playing receiver helped me a lot, because as a receiver, you got to teach how you attack coverage, how you try to attack the leverage of especially when you're playing slot receiver. So you take the leverage of the safety and all that stuff. So that helped me a lot to recognize these small things.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And here in the comments, there's a lot more.
Yes, there's a lot of comments, but I wanted to know. Okay, we'll read the comments, and then I want to know how was the transition then from GFL 1 to the Lions. I want to know that part.
Yeah, but we will read the comments first, because there's a lot of
Yeah,
people
there's
here
a
in the
lot of
comments
them.
with a lot of love in the comments. So we need to get to it. So where were we?
Babylon,
we were on the Marcus comments. Yeah.
Babylon
Marcus
said, Alex, I miss you, Center 68. Varela Semedo said, Alex, I hope your surgery went well. Fast recovery. And then Philippe said, Alex, 18 club. And then Paulo Pilar said, Alex, you should come back
running.
Yeah. And also Philippe said relegation also works like that in Bundesliga. I don't see Bundesliga. And Gonçalo Vitorino said
Borgmann with 3 hearts.
3 hearts. And Enrique was saying hello to Paulo Pilar. And then Marcos Ramos said, I see the Lions helmets in the back.
Of course, he's up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, go pick it up.
Yeah, go.
Is it good with your knee?
You're making him run. I totally forgot about it. We're like, oh yeah, go pick up the. Oh, okay.
Yeah, your best friend.
You're like,
your girlfriend now.
Go pick up the ring.
So I can just say something. Hey, much love to all my Lions guys. Okay, I love you all.
Yeah.
This team is something special. I can just say that.
That's so nice, and it's very good to see. Like you said, you were only here for what, 2 months?
Yeah, 2 months.
And the influence that you had, and I had the opportunity to speak a little bit with Paulo when you were leaving. Yeah. And it's the same thing. The love that everyone shows about you, and it's I can see it's mutual, and everyone can agree that you were a great influence when you were here in Portugal.
Gonçalo Vitorino said, once a lion, always a lion.
Nice.
So can you tell then the transition to the Lions?
Yes. So when I came here, when I came to Portugal, obviously, it was pretty sure that they changed the head coach, and Coach Dan just got there like a month ago or so. So there's still like things progressing and structures made.
Mm-hmm.
And then Paulo came there like I think it was the day before I came, so it was literally the same time. So we all had our first practice together, and there was things. Everyone who wasn't there before was able to add to the program, because I'm coaching a lot too, so I have stuff I would recommend to do or to just offer to help somewhere. I think that was the biggest part at the beginning, that we're kind of changing structures and things. They just happened before different. So
because it was a new team and they didn't experience. Pedro Esteves has a bit of experience, but other guys also a bit. But like the whole system was not really built as a program, I would say, or it was, or that was the idea, but they were still learning how to do it. And I think the coaches and the imports, as you and the other guys, I think we were coached by an import, and it's a huge difference. Like we thought, okay, we know so much already. It's like an import is gonna only make the plays, and it didn't. It was like way more than just making the plays in the field. It was like the whole concept around it, like the way of seeing football and everything.
right.
And that's insane. It's I never thought that it would be that big.
Yeah, and it's all,
Yes.
you change the culture in the practice. Like
Yeah.
that is, I think that's the biggest part. And all the imports, they came to the Lions. They took it really serious. So shout out to these guys. They're probably listening too.
Yeah.
And how did you get in touch with Steves? Because not only Portugal is not necessarily known about American football, and even the Lions, for us they're a bit more known, but
Right.
they're still a new team. And how did you get in touch with them, or how did you get to know about the Lions to come here?
So actually, it wasn't my plan to go to Portugal.
I would imagine that.
To be
I
fair.
would imagine that. Yeah, but that's why I asked.
So I actually, my plan was to take a year off and go traveling and use football to see some parts of the world I've never been before. So my original plan was to go to Australia and New Zealand, and I already had teams there who wanted to bring me and have me there.
Okay.
But Corona said, no, you don't get a visa. So, and then, but I already quit my job till the end of December. So I was like, oh, damn, I need to find a place maybe in Europe, because I really wanted to go out of Europe. So, and I was like, okay, so things moving really quick now, and I need to find something where I can just, I think it's...
No, it's okay. He's still here. He's just too much.
I wanted to have something like safe. And there's mainly 2 leagues in Europe which have a league, or they're playing in spring. This is Spain. There's actually France, but I didn't want to go to France. And so my options were Spain and Portugal. So I contacted a lot of teams, and
through Euro players or directly?
Euro players and Instagram.
Okay.
I think so. It's actually way easier to contact them straight on Instagram, I think.
Yeah, I also think
so. To everyone who's looking for teams, just contact them on Instagram, because teams looking way faster on Instagram than on Euro players.
Yeah, most of
Euro-
the people don't go to Euro players now.
Yeah, no, maybe it's good to have like the profile and then just say, oh, and contact them. And if they want like the information, then you send the Euro players page.
That's exactly what I did.
Okay, yeah, well, makes sense.
Yeah, and I just Googled some teams in Portugal. I knew that the Devils exist, and yeah, that's basically it. Because I actually don't know. I think I've seen some imports there years ago.
Yeah.
But so I just knew, okay, Devils are existent. So I just made some research, like who they played. So come up with some other teams, and some of the lines too. And
Yeah.
I was so. Please don't feel offended because I didn't contact you, obviously.
I would say no, so
Yeah,
even if you did.
yes, no. I think they were out for like a year or so. So
No, but when he contacted the Lions, we already existed.
yeah, well, yeah, but
because
it
we
was
have been
not-
practicing, we like the page, and we have been practicing and preparing this since August, I think. So it will probably
Yeah,
be.
I can just say I was mainly looking in Lisbon area.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a mistake.
That's the offensive part. That's the offensive.
not going
But
to meet. It's okay.
To be fair, I've never been to Portugal, so I was like, okay, so
Capital.
I have no idea what to expect. So maybe Lisbon is not the worst part to go.
Yeah, it's a capital. It's the thing that
it wouldn't be the capital if it was the worst.
Yes,
it can go wrong.
it's never the mistake. Going to the capital is never a mistake.
That was my idea behind it.
Yeah.
And then
it's understandable.
Yeah, so and I talked with some teams, and Pedro Stevens gave me like such a great impression. We talked a lot, and he was basically the reason why I came to Portugal. I had a great offer from Spain and all that, but
yeah, we can understand. We also talked with him a lot. We know
Yeah.
what you mean.
he is a really nice person. I have to say that, and he's doing a tremendous job with all he's doing with the club, and yeah, I can just say that convinced me a lot because I so at home with the Razorbacks, I'm extended part of the board,
Okay, yeah.
and so and I know how hard is all that management stuff. So I was really impressed that he's a one-man army and doing all this great stuff. And all our talks were good, so I was like, okay,
Yeah,
let's do it.
yeah, we can understand. I'm sorry, but let me just say something. Estava alguém na sala de espera. Nós não puxamos porque ele estava a falar, mas esperem só um bocadinho.
Exato, esperem na sala de espera porque nós vimos logo e
nós vimos, e depois quando
eu
houver
entro.
um tempo nós puxamos, não tem.
Exatamente,
nós
só não
sabemos
saiam da sala de espera porque nós estamos
Exato.
sempre a controlar quem é que entra primeiro, que é para depois chamar.
Exato.
Por isso podem ir entrando. Quem está, acho que era Varela.
Exato.
Por isso podes entrar para a sala de espera se estiveres a ouvir e nós já vamos lá buscar.
Acho que deves até. Sorry, because there was somebody there, but it's like...
He was in the waiting room to speak to you, and then he left the waiting room, so we were calling him back to the waiting room.
Yeah.
But when you were sending messages to teams, were you thinking about playing quarterback or safety?
Both actually. So there is some parts of my highlight tape where I play quarterback because I still play quarterback in GFL too. So teams know that I can throw the ball and all that stuff. So yeah. I offered myself as you know those offers where they say athlete.
Yeah, athlete,
Yes.
football player.
Football.
What position? What position? Yes.
Yeah, and when Pedro asked me if I would play quarterback, and I just answered, I do whatever it takes to win. I would play O-line if it has to be.
I
So
like to play O-line.
I would actually like to play O-line if I
Yeah,
would
me
have the
too.
body.
Yeah, exactly.
I would
That
have the
is
body.
exactly my feeling. I would love to play O-line, but I don't have the physique for it.
No, me neither.
Yeah. And
Yeah, but- sorry.
What? Sorry. Finish.
Yeah.
O que estavas a dizer?
No. I interrupted because I said that I would also like to play O-line because you
Ah.
gave the example of being O-line. But you're saying
Well-
Pedro said you just said, "Oh, it doesn't matter which position. I just want to win. I don't mind." And what did he say to it?
What?
What did Pedro said to
What
you?
Pedro,
Like,
Pedro said?
Yeah, so he was like perfect. I mean, we that was already when I was committed to the Lions. So, and then he asked me if that would be an option. I was like, yeah, of course. And he was like, great. So we'll figure out when you're here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Figure out.
I have a
and
question.
especially because, like
Oh,
you
sorry.
said, just to finish, like you said, the first practice that you all had together was the same one. Like with Paulo and you and the other guys was the
Yes.
same practice. So either way, you would had to figure it out later, because Paulo could have other options or other things in his pocket to decide. So yeah, either way, you were going to need to decide it later.
Yeah. But so obviously that didn't pull me out to play O-line. So
Yeah.
I didn't
Thankfully. Well, we don't know how much more you would last if you played
Yes.
O-line instead
Maybe
of
we'll play
quarterback.
more.
Maybe once now.
Yeah, we
Maybe-
don't know. We don't know.
It will be a pull guard. You'll never do pass protection. Only pulls.
Always
Only
running.
run. Always running. So I have a
Yeah.
question. When did you figure out that Portugal was nice? If you know what I mean. If you when you look, there's always that moment when you say, "Oh my God, I really enjoy being here."
So I stepped out the plane, come from like minus 10 degrees to 15, and I was like, oh, this is nice.
I saw that you went surfing.
Yes, so I like to surf, so I was like, okay, this is great. I'm really close to the coast, so I will go surfing. But I think actually what I really was surprised, or like that really touched like my heart, or however you can say it, are the people. Like everyone was so nice. I haven't met any guy which I don't like. Period.
Well, you played the last game, and you would say that about the
Yes.
referee,
Or even
was on the storyline. So maybe you just went away a little bit too soon to say that.
or maybe
Right on time.
or maybe
Yeah, but-
the Renegades, some of the Renegades players.
No, because
maybe.
everyone of the Renegades is nice.
Yeah. Well,
Everyone.
they
on
are
the Renegades is
special.
nice.
Some are
But
I think-
that
yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's nice to hear, because, well, you're going. It's either way. It's a big decision, like to move away from home and from your comfort and from the team players that you already know and grew up with, to then go to a different country, a different culture, and you expect them to be nice, but you never know, right? And it's always good to see that, because I guess you had to live with Coach Paulo too, and there's a lot of things that can happen. And we had imports in Maya Renegades a few years ago, and it wasn't that pleasurous of a relationship. Like there was a lot of problems, a lot of
Oh
discussions.
yeah, but that was more
Coach-
more to the end. Yeah, okay. I know
But
what you
still, like the relationship wasn't always perfect, and they were only four. I guess you guys were a little bit more than four, and it's always hard to relate to other people. Like when you need to
Yeah, but the
to
coach was
to live
also
with someone.
but the coach was also not the best put together. Like it was not the best piece to put together the imports, I would say. But I have a question. When, especially you being German, when did you feel the cultural shock? Cultural shock. You felt it, right? Somehow, did you? In the food, didn't you feel it in the food?
In the food, yes, of course. I love the Portuguese food, so it was really great. But it is different than German food, because Germany is just basically potatoes, right?
Yes. But apart from that, did you feel any kind of shock apart from the people being nice that you already said?
So I figured out that a lot of stuff happened later than in Germany. So
Yes. Yes.
Before the show, me and Lich, and he was like, "Don't worry, he's German. He's probably already ready, waiting for your message. So don't worry."
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But it's
Yeah.
like Pedro always said the first days I was waking up at like 8, like a good German,
Yeah.
and I went to the living room, did a stretch, and all that, and I was like ready at 9:30. Already had my morning coffee and all that, and no one was awake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Quite.
the first
Yeah.
cultural shock. Yeah, but that one, I don't know why or what makes us be like that, but everyone says that about the Portuguese. I don't know why.
You know
but-
what? You know what I feel by being here, living in Austria, is that we have an hour apart, but it feels more like 4 hours difference than just 1 hour. It's like, because in here we like you said, you start the day at 8, and in there you start the day at 9:30. So it's like
Right.
already here it's already 10:30, so it's already 2 hours and a half afterwards. So
Yes.
it's already, you're almost finishing your day already. So
Yeah, it's like I adapted pretty fast.
yeah.
You just had to still sleep a little more.
And
You
then
had to chill.
so as soon as I adapted, my friends from Germany texted me at like 7:30, 8. And
Yeah.
then,
Oh my god, what are you doing, man?
no,
So
I was looking at my phone at 10 or so, and I was like, what the hell is going on?
Something wrong happened.
So
Yeah, but it's so funny because here in Portugal, mostly everyone is late to everything, but everyone hates it. Like,
well, I didn't hate it.
the thing that they say, at least the foreign people that I met or I know, when they talk about the Portuguese, they're always late, but don't get there late, otherwise they'll not like it. But
They'd be mad.
they will get there late, but don't you dare getting there late.
Oh, God.
And most
I
of
don't
the
know
people
about that.
argue about it, but yeah.
I don't know what they're talking about. Okay, talking about football. So
Yeah.
how compare I want to compare. Let's try to do it. If you only played against the Warriors,
Warriors.
right? Okay, but you see the
Yeah.
other games, right?
I've seen a lot.
You saw tape and stuff. What did you do? Do you think any team in Portugal have a chance against a GFL 3 team?
3.
Three.
Three. Yes.
Yeah. So it depends on which team you're going, because there's actually a lot of teams in GFL 3 which are already playing with like 3 or 4 American imports.
Yeah. That's what I
So
thought.
it'll be tough. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. It's
We would
just
need
for,
3 or 4 American imports to maybe
Yes.
face them.
yeah. No, I'm it's more like to compare the level. But do you think, what would you think that is the most biggest mistakes that Portuguese teams do to be able to, or to not be able to achieve that level of the GFL 3 or even the GFL 1? Let's fuck it. Let's go crazy.
Yeah, okay. I mean, to play GFL 1, it obviously takes a lot of money.
Yes. Okay.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But so I think I haven't seen any practice except of our practices, right? But I can just say that from general what it takes, right? So
Yeah.
it's structure in the practice,
Okay.
practice attendance from everyone, because there's a major factor which I figured out, that a lot of people are working like shifts and all that,
Mhm.
so they're not able to go to practice frequently or like twice a week.
Mhm.
And this is a huge factor, I think.
Yeah, it's
And
kind
then-
of prioritizing the football, because it's like you have to leave, right?
Right. And then I think a lot of clubs doing great with like giving the opportunity to get the equipment like helmets and shoulder pads, because this is really expensive. And I think for the Portuguese standard salary, it's amazingly expensive to afford all that in like 1 year or so.
Yeah.
Or you just start playing and you're like, it's that 500 euros.
Yes,
Like,
that's a lot.
and yeah, so I think this is something with what I heard, a lot of teams doing good, that it provide at least a little bit of equipment.
That's mostly because of the time that they are already in the league. And
Yeah,
they
but the
can-
Lions do that.
Yeah, for example, so I can say that from the Lions, we have
Oh,
equipment
yeah,
for almost
too.
everyone. That was great. So
Yeah, and that's a big factor, especially to get new players playing. Like you said, it's so hard to have 500 euros, 600 euros when you start playing. And the years that I was, for example, when I was with the Mutts or when I was with the Mustangs, but still, well, with the Mustangs we had a little bit of equipment that we got from America, but it was such a turn off for so many players that they were talented, but we couldn't have any other way for them playing otherwise if they bought their equipment, because if it's hard for the players to buy one helmet and one shoulder pad, it's even harder for a team that is building and it's is growing to get like 5, 6, 7, 8 helmets, 10 helmets for everyone. It's so hard. And I give big props to Pedro Esteves, because he thought of that before creating a team. Like and when I was creating or recreating the Renegade, I said the same thing to our director, and to see Pedro never really being on a team, but thinking of that and thinking of the comfort of the players before even starting playing any game. I give a lot of respect for him to think of it, because he could do like all the other teams. Like, I created a team, you come, you play, you buy your material, and you go to the field. If not, go play another sport. And we only lose if we don't strategize
Yes.
on that. And I think it's a big factor, like you said.
Okay.
And thinking about practice. Wait, I have a question. Thinking about practice and what you saw here, I know you saw a lot more from the Lions, at least in person. But what you thought about the talent that Portugal has in general, football-wise?
I think there's a lot of raw talent. There's good bodies, good. I see great speed, and all that. It's just not like super developed, because over here in Portugal, the guys usually play like how many years? 3,
3, 4. And they started 18 or 19.
What?
Right.
They
Yeah.
started 18. Well, yeah, well.
Não, claro que é. Quando talento que começa é aos 18. Yeah, he was like, no, but yeah, here if you see a young player.
Oh, okay, a good young player. Okay.
Yeah, if we're talking about talents and people like developing talents, we're not talking about 30 years. We're talking about, and you cannot be younger than 17 in the year that you're going to be 18. So you cannot be younger than that.
Yeah,
And
I meant that he saw somebody, for example, with 25 that he was good. Correct me if I'm wrong, But what you asked, it was how long does a player normally plays American football in Portugal, right? Does
Yeah,
American
he
fix-
asked that. No, he asked that, and then I said he can only start when he is 18,
Right.
and that
Okay.
doesn't help a lot.
Okay. Yes,
So
keep going.
I can
Sorry.
give you an example. Like I'm coaching here in my state now, in Baden-Württemberg. I coach the all-star team of the state,
Mhm.
and this is a U18 team, and most of these guys already play like 6 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. I also here it's also that is kind of common in Innsbruck. It's
yeah.
the
I went to
that
Vienna.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I went to
Vienna.
Vienna a couple months ago, and we were talking with the defensive coordinator of the under
Viking?
16 team.
Okay.
Yeah, from the Vienna Vikings. And it was funny because we were talking about some kids, and he was like, "Yeah, that kid over there, he plays for how many years?" He said the kid was 16, and he played for 8 years already.
Yeah, I did an image. There was a kid from the Raiders that asked me for an image, and I asked him how old was he, and he said 13. I was like, what? And we already have pictures playing football with 13 years old in Europe. Wow.
Yeah, like the kid was 16, and he played more years than I did.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just and
But I
if,
think he was
like, if-
developing your answer. You asked something, and I liked
yeah.
your question, and he was developing, and we cut him off. I'm sorry.
So yeah, but I think this is something when we talk about reaching the level of GFL or maybe the AFL, right? In Austria, I think this is a really good league too.
Well,
If you want to reach those levels, you're going to start early and to provide or help kids playing at a younger age. I know you do this with the flag football Hammers Academy,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This is a great example, and I know the Lions doing the flag football too, but
Yeah.
I can say this from my experience as a coach and as a board member of the Razorbacks. We had a lot because I was some year I was the head coach of our U16 program, and I had a huge problem that kids who are coming because we have flag football till 16, and then with 15 you can change to tackle football, and we had a huge problem that a lot of kids didn't want to play tackle football because they never experienced to get hit or hit somebody. So we had like 50 guys in the flag football, but 20 guys in the U16.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's as sooner you get them used to wear pad and helmet, as sooner they get used to get hit, and the sooner they get better. Right? And with the age, with like 18, 19, they can go to the men's team and already been a developed player.
Yeah.
That is
And
true.
we always talk so much about like what can we do to elevate the level of football in Portugal? What can we do? And there are so many teams, but so many teams that don't look at younger players like. And when we are talking about younger, we are not talking like 17, 18. We are talking about kids, 12-year-olds. Yes,
But
even having like one person taking care of the flag football team, like you said, even if it is again until you're 16, and then you get 1 year practicing with the men's team, and then when you're 17 you start playing. I don't know, there's so many things, and there are so many teams in Portugal that don't really care about it.
No, it's not. I don't know if it's caring about it. I think it's the hard part, or what I feel that in Portugal is hard, is the parents, because the parents have to consent that, and I don't think that Portugal is that used to American football. Yes, rugby, yes, but rugby you don't. It doesn't have the same connotation as
you just need to try to convince the same parents.
Yeah, I know, but they see NFL and they're like, "Oh my god, it's so aggressive!" And you're saying, "What are you thinking? That he's gonna play against a guy with 50 more kilos than him?" No, that's not gonna happen.
And that's because of those type of comments that Portugal don't go further. Because like
I
I can
was
imagine
just
so many
saying-
teams. Yeah, but I can imagine so many teams giving excuses instead
Yes.
of going and showing and trying to actually bring those kids. Because if
Yes.
rugby has kids playing with 6 years, 8 years without any protection,
Yeah, but
how
rugby
can we
doesn't
not
have.
convince
Yes,
kids
but
playing with protections?
but
Like, it's so
rugby
hard.
doesn't
Or-
have
or
rugby
at least
doesn't have
flag
10
football,
years.
right?
Yeah.
No, it's flag football. Like
No,
we
flag
don't.
foot was okay. Yeah,
We need
that
to
I
get
believe.
to get the seed of watching football, watching the NFL, to then get them to want to play more. And I say this because more and more I get contacted by kids that are 13, 14. We had in the summer in one of the Hammers practice, we had around 30 players playing. At least half of them was between the age of 14 and 18, and all of them wanted to play tackle football.
That's
And
great.
they came to us asking when were we going to create under 18 or under 21 tackle football for the Hammers, and that's in progress now. But still, there is people looking for it. Clearly, there's a population here looking for it. We
I'm
just
not
need to get to
saying-
them.
Yes, I'm not saying that you're wrong, and I think that is the correct way because clearly it's working here and in Germany. And I didn't even thought it was possible in Europe, but clearly I was wrong because it works, and you can see like Sandro Platzkummer and a lot of other German and Austrian players that right now they are beasts because they started with 6 years old. But okay,
Yeah. We have questions in the comments regarding
Yes.
this theme. I see
Yes.
Marcos here. He was saying regarding things that I think are missing in Portugal besides the money that I think should be mentioned. Like you said, it's so hard for a player that is starting out to play 500 euros to play. He said, I think we should practice at least 4 times a week. Player need to get serious, lift weights, and do speed workouts. Goes a little bit to what you said about practicing.
Yeah, so but I have a different opinion on that, to be honest. I don't think that you need to have four practices during the week, because if you have 2 serious practices, that's enough.
Yeah.
If you look at teams like Schwäbisch Hall, they might practice twice a week. Might.
Yeah,
Sometimes-
the Wrocław Panthers they practice twice a week when I was
Yeah.
there.
There's like the I mean, obviously they have all the players there who know football, but
Yeah.
if you have 100% attendance at every practice,
Yeah.
then I think 2 days of
enough.
practice a week is enough.
Yeah.
I guess now messing with Marcos, I guess what he's saying is like if you have 4 practices, at least 2 you will have 100% attendance.
This is a good. Yeah, okay.
It's like
No.
that.
What I think he means is more like, or it can happen because, for example, a lot of people that take the football serious, the practices are to play football, but they have to go to the gym, and they go to the gym every day, and they lift weights like every day. It's part of the practice, and I think this is kind of the practice that he meant. Doesn't mean that it's on the field; it's still practice, but it's off the field.
Yeah.
And,
So maybe
sorry.
I can give you an example, like for at least I know how like our off-season program is look like. So, or maybe pre-season. Maybe this gives you an idea to everyone like what it is in the GFL, right? So we have a lifting plan with a strength and condition coach. You have an app on your phone, and you be blah blah blah. Okay, I need to lift this and this today. So and then you have 4 lifts a week, but you can decide when you go. Usually it's like small groups who are going together, right?
Yeah.
And other than that, in the preseason, you have 3 times practice. But during the season, we're reducing it to 2 times practice and 3 times weightlifting, because you have the game at the weekend, and it's a lot of pressure for the body. So
Yeah.
and I think this is to prepare to play on the highest level in Europe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's enough to say, okay, we have 2 good practices a week, and everyone is going to the gym 2 times a week. So you're doing actually sports 4 times a week, O-line.
Yeah, just Philippe said, I don't think I ever had a practice with full attendance. Maybe in the beginning when there were only 5 players on the team. That was funny.
Yeah,
I,
yeah, 100%.
I have a funny question here also. Manuel Ulisses asked, what was the player that the most interested you in the Portuguese league? Unfortunately, you only played 5 snaps, so I might I imagine that it was in your team.
So which I was most interested in.
Impressed. Lich read wrong. Impressed.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Impressed. Okay. So I can say that from my team. I think Marcus impressed me a lot.
What is the number?
29.
Oh,
29.
okay.
The short.
Yeah,
so fast.
The
and
more.
What is 2 cents about him because of his height, but he's a football player.
He's there's a player from the Cardinals that Moore, I think, the guy that
Moore,
was he's Moore, right? His name is
Yeah.
Moore. He's like a small guy that was also catching under people and running the ball and incredibly fast. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
you reminded me of him.
He's one of those guys who impressed me a lot because I think the second day I was there, we went to the field and throw some balls. And to be honest, Marcus, I'm sorry to say that, but you didn't show good hands on the first practice. And I was like, well, okay, we can develop something. At least he's quick. And but he made a huge progress in just a couple of weeks. I don't know if it was there before and he didn't show it at the beginning, but it was nice to see.
Yeah, that's so good.
That is cool.
Finishing off, we have some other comments. Pedro Scalera said, Boas, hi. Luis Perez, he was talking about the rugby players. He said there are kids that are 4 years old playing rugby already, and even here in Portugal. Then they were talking about Varela being in the waiting room, and he said they got it wrong. Marcus sent a heart now, and Varela said, great player comparison to Marcus is definitely Rondell Moore. Yeah, Rondell Moore was the player we were talking about.
Yes, it is. And I have a question. Sorry.
Yes.
No.
Go ahead.
Yes, you go ahead. You go.
I was just talking about Varela. He impressed me also because I didn't know anything about anyone, but probably you've seen that we had this Mexican guy there at the beginning of practices. I mean, he got hurt, but it is what it is, right? But he was covering Ricardo pretty well, and I was impressed by that in the
21,
first practice.
Right?
Yeah, 1-to-1. Yeah,
yep.
And he impressed me with that.
Yeah.
That's nice. He looks like a football player.
Yeah, they talked about him in Discord.
He looks like a football player.
Yeah, they talked about him in Discord. We have a little community here, and Carlos was also the guy from the Renegades, number 1. He was also talking that Varela looks like promising player.
Definitely.
Yeah. I have a question. So can we talk just a little bit fast about your injury and how are things going? And if did you prepare like somebody to replace you? Because I know that the second quarterback also got injured, but was some kind of like preparation for the who come next or?
Mm-hmm. So I will start with my injury. So I will have my final meeting with the doctor tomorrow. So I really know what is all done, but it's pretty sure that it's ACL and MCL. That is like already set in stone.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna figure out if the meniscus is still okay. But yeah, it's for me it is what it is. It is part of the game, and it's not my first injury, so I think I can handle it, and I'll be back.
Yeah. I think
hope
you
so.
have something. You have something to come up to, at least in Portugal.
Yeah.
Yes, I already said, all my guys, I'll be back. So I don't know how and when, but you guys gonna see me again. That's for sure.
It's
That's
There's
so
no,
nice.
there's no
The-
way around. I end my Portuguese career like that.
Yeah. I think you.
Maybe now we will try to visit Porto and
Oh.
see another town, and you go to maybe another team that plays with red and white too. So it's not too complicated for you to get used
Isn't
to it.
that orange? But okay. Anyway.
Don't say that too loud when Pedro's listening.
It's
No, I
okay.
I'm just saying the possibilities. We have the sea here. You can come surfing. I don't know. I don't want your Portuguese career to end like that either.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But
you
about
never
the
know.
other question.
We definitely can talk about a joint training session or so. And I would love to help out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that would be amazing.
And the other question about the preparation for the next quarterbacks.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, we've been lucky actually that our quarterbacks frequently come to practice. So
Okay.
I had a chance to work with the guys with everyone. Yeah, like you said, our second quarterback got injured like a couple snaps after me. That was terrible, of course.
Yes.
But then Gio, he stepped up big time, and he worked a lot with me, especially at the beginning when I came here. So he kind of knew what's going to happen. So that wasn't. I think it wasn't the best case, obviously, but yeah, he stepped up and he threw a touchdown. So
Yeah, to Marcos.
right.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
there. I saw it. No, yeah, but that's nice.
What? The Lions didn't score a touchdown yet on the offense, I think.
No, the Lions scored a touchdown. It was a pass from Gio, the third string
Against the
quarterback, to
Warriors?
Marcos. Yes, to Marcos, the one that we were talking about.
So
prior.
Enrique was wrong. He said that the Lions never scored a touchdown.
No.
on the
That's
Okay,
not what he
so-
said. He said that they scored. I think they scored like 34 points in total, and 28 was on defense.
Oh.
It was something like that. It was a crazy stat, and that like they had one touchdown on offense, and that was Marcos.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Let me just wrap it up with the comments here, because Rodrigo Llorca said Varela is a hell of a player. Tiago Fidalgo also said Varela is a beast. Then Rodrigo Llorca said miss you, bro. Gonçalo Vitorino is Varela is the guy. And then they started, please be back. I still have to sack you in practice. That said Rodrigo Llorca. And then Marcos said, yeah, we will love to see you again. And say, no, nothing, no Porto, come to Lisbon. And then Vitorino said, Borg is a lion. And
Yeah,
then
but wait. There's a possibility of Marcos coming to study in Porto. So, if you want to see your guy, maybe he will be in Porto too.
And then the Renegades director said, "Hey, Coach Marcus, how would you like to have a German player next season?" Just joking. He said just joking.
And Marcus said Dio is a straight menace, beast at running back, and stepped it up at quarterback. And then Philip said that I'm always trying to steal Lions players. not the team that I stole from. I'm going to say no. Actually, it's probably one of the few teams that I didn't steal from yet. So maybe in the future.
Okay.
But
do you have any more question?
I have one last question that Enrique asked me. Is a funny question. He said, "Is there a difference between the locker room in Portugal than to German? Like either in the way it is, like the players, and even the way they are built. Like
can I answer from my flag perspective in the Raiders? The locker rooms are heated.
Yeah, you can talk about that too.
The locker rooms are heated. I was practicing in -1 degree, and I got to the locker room and I said, "Wow, I can feel my hands. What is happening here? This is heated." Okay, that was my experience.
So yeah, it depends on if we talk about our practice field or our game field, because we like my team, for example, we practice on a different field than we're actually playing, but because there's not a lot room for people to come and watch the game. So, but
Okay.
you cannot imagine how bad is our practice field. There's
Where in Portugal?
no in Germany.
Oh, okay.
So the lockers in Lisbon are better than those are in our practice field.
Okay.
But when we go to have our home games, we have a nice locker under the stands with one room for offense, one room is for defense, and all that stuff. That's really nice.
Okay.
But yeah, it's heated.
Yes.
In a way.
And the environment
Yeah,
on
the
the locker room.
atmosphere-
Not
the
only the way
atmosphere.
it is built, but the atmosphere. What's the difference between being with just German players and then Portuguese, Brazilian guys? I know there's a lot of different cultures in the Lions. How was the difference?
Yeah, you got definitely some Brazilian vibes over there.
Yes, I can
Way around it.
imagine. I can imagine.
Yeah, so it was nice. So from the first day on, everyone in the locker room, we always had some music and was relaxed. And there was this one day, I think I didn't get it 100% because it was in Portuguese, but I think they had a rap battle or so. But it was super funny. It was really funny.
Okay. Oh yeah,
uh,
there's one of the Lions guys that is a singer, right? I think
I've seen there's a lot of singers in that team because every game that I've been to, or I've seen 3 Lions games already. Every game that's music in the end, that's music in the beginning. It's such a good vibe. Everyone is like dancing and singing. I saw the videos from the Super Bowl. Everyone was singing during the halftime.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of singers in that team.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great vibe. It's a great vibe.
Yeah,
No doubt. No doubt. Yeah, and it's like in Germany, it's actually more like an American culture, I would say, because we're playing with a lot of Americans, right? And
Yeah.
it is more quiet. We have music, but just like before the game. So
Okay.
that's it. Yeah, but there's
Those are the main differences.
Okay.
I think there's a lot more focus in the locker rooms in Germany than in Portugal.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they are still focused, but it's a different kind of focus. It's a fun and enjoyment focus, and not. I don't know. I'm just saying stuff. Anyway,
Yeah.
I have the last question for you, Alex. So, did you see? This is we call it a prash, the question that we do all the time for all our guests. Did you see? Did you see Space Jam?
Space Jam, yes, of course.
The first one, right? The second one I
Yes.
didn't see it yet. That's the
I
bad
didn't
thing.
see it.
Yeah, you know the monsters come to the NBA and they steal the powers, right? If you
Right.
were a monster and you could steal a power from the NFL and
Just steal from.
Okay,
uh,
Tyrann Matthew.
Oh, that was
Matthews,
fast.
That was fast. Okay, well, but why?
That's nice.
Tyrann Matthew, like at the end of LSU or beginning of like the first 2 or 3 years at Cardinals. That's it. Because
Okay.
I just love. So he was like the reason I began to be a
Yeah.
Cardinal fan, and
That's,
he was like a huge like he was always the guy when I played safety who I was looking up to. I was like, yeah, this guy is playing great.
Yes.
And he's covering deep, covering the flats, run stuff. He's blitzing. He's playing nickel, safety, corner, wherever you want him to play. He's doing it. That is just great, I think.
Yeah, he's such a good player. I remember the years he was with the Cardinals before he also got injured on his knee. He was such a menace there. It was so nice to see, and it's good to have that question, that answer, because it's the first time we had Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah,
Usually
that's true.
people say like
Aaron Donald.
yeah, Aaron Donald is the answer we get most of the time. So it's good to have a new answer.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
I thought you would say Hopkins, but I also understand the Matthews. It's more OG. Which
And
is
it's like, I think it's easy to pick like a quarterback or a receiver because they're so standout players, and you just see him make plays and plays. But if you break it down, he just did a tremendous job on every down he's playing.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, but the also curious thing is I don't think we had a receiver, or we had like one quarterback that was Rodgers, and that is we had coaches and stuff. But yeah, it's nice. I like that's why I like this question, because we have all kind of answers.
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's a nice
we always like to finish with that question, and we already got past an hour. We told you it was going to be around an hour, so not to steal more of your time, we are going to read like the last few comments that people said. Marcus said it should be 2 touchdowns already, not 1. They stole 1 away from him.
Don't celebrate too early.
Fairly stole 1 away from him. And then
Tiago
said, go easy, Marcus. Now, I don't know who is he talking to, if he's talking to me or to the other Marcus, but he said easy, Marcus. And then he said, I did the pick for you and for Borgis. But I don't know which one he's talking about. So, I think he's talking about, unless he's talking about like to mess with me. Either way, he was a nice play. It was such a nice play. Good enough. It wasn't enough to win the game, but it was that's why it's such a good play.
Which one?
The interception.
Okay.
The pick six was such a good play. A good play. But yeah, that's it. I don't know if you have the last kisses and hugs to send. Yeah, a shout out you want to send.
Yeah. So, like I said, I just want to thank you all to the Lions family. I love you all, everyone, and especially huge thank to Pedro. And it's always freeway. I told him to do that.
That's so nice, and I'm happy we are doing this episode now because, like you said, you still hope your career in Portugal goes on, but it's also a good way we kind of close this chapter, and it's something that I think that the Lions didn't do too much. All of the imports, people knew you guys were there, but people didn't really know who you guys were, and unfortunately you already left. But I think this is a good way for people to get to know you guys too, so I think this is a good time we do this episode.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Mitz, do you want to say your goodbyes?
Yeah, I will read the last comment. Paulo Pilar said, just glad that I have such an amazing person like him as a teammate and a homie. Love you, Borgi. That's a special one. And yes, Tiago was talking about the other Marcus. And Marcus said, we love you. And I will finish by saying thank you. We had our deal in Braga to bring you to the episode, and I said we were going to do it in English if you came. We did. Next one, I hope it's in Portuguese. But I'm very glad we got to have you here. I'm happy. I really enjoyed the interview, and I hope you the best. I hope your recovery goes well, and I hope to see you in the field soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now it's my goodbyes. So I will thank you for coming, by the way, Alex. I will just say the rest in Portuguese, but thank you for coming. It was really nice to meet you and to talk to you. It was really cool.
Just like thank you very much for having me, and boa noite.
Yeah, but,
Nice.
exactly.
We are already starting thinking about the next episode in Portuguese.
Yeah, but obrigado por terem visto. Deixem-me só dizer que subscrevam ao canal e ponham um like no vídeo e juntem-se ao Discord. O pessoal fala lá muito. E Marcos, olha, tenho pena, gostei muito do touchdown, mas a partir do momento em que te vi-te levantar a bola a 20 jardas de touchdown, eu disse logo que ia ser taunting. Não é culpa tua, não é culpa de ninguém, na realidade é só a liga, sempre foi assim, não é, já vi acontecer várias vezes e por muito menos. Por isso, agora já aprendeste, para o próximo marcas e depois festejas. Mas foi grande touchdown, de qualquer maneira.
Depois,
Exato, mas foi grande touchdown. Eu estava a ver o jogo e até tive pena, porque foi mesmo grande touchdown. Foi pena. Por isso, continuem no bom trabalho e obrigado. Botem um like no vídeo, botem um like na página, subscrevam, juntem-se ao Discord e partilhem, pessoal. Tchauzinho.
Tchau.